So, I want to talk about this idea of burnout. It's something that we're hearing a lot right now. And what I'm realizing in talking to leaders every day is that our growth starts to stall as an organization when leaders mistake momentum with sustainability. We mistake a little bit of action with our ability to sustain it over time. And what I realize is burnout isn't a capacity issue. It's a signal that we have misaligned leadership systems in our businesses. It's a sign that our communication frameworks are breaking down, they're not working, that trust is eroding throughout our organization. And our leaders are tired, and we think that a few days off is going to fix that. But what happens is it just masks it for a longer period of time. Instead, we keep piling on and we don't address the actual issue. And so the analogy that I think about is the analogy of if I have a concrete slab and there's huge cracks in that concrete, and I decide I'm going to build on top of it. And I put more and more weight and I put more and more things on top of that concrete. The cracks didn't go away because you don't see them anymore. The cracks are still there under the surface and are just slowly eroding our ability to perform. And that busyness that we're all feeling in our brains is we're tired because we haven't actually fixed the thing that's affecting our performance, right? That thing underneath the surface. It's like sitting in your car and you're in park and you're revving the engine, only you're not going anywhere. You're putting out a ton of energy, but it's not doing anything. How do we start to think different about this? How do we start to realize that our leaders and the lack of support we give them, and honestly, the accountability to do the inner work is impacting our companies? It's eroding profit that we need in order to grow in this business climate. I don't have to rattle off all the stats for you on leadership burnout. You can go to your favorite AI platform and do a search and you'll see all the data, right? The data is there. And yet most of us just keep pushing forward. We keep hoping that maybe something will change, that magically something's going to change in the business or in our climate that makes all of our leaders different, that makes all of our leaders overnight just better. And that's not going to happen. Leaders will not drive high performance until they have the techniques and the tools to help them manage their own energy. But that's not something we talk about in our businesses. We're asking leaders to lead when they don't even know how to lead themselves. And we can't teach what we don't know. So for years, personally, I've been working on my own energy management practices. It's not perfect by any means. I still have really tough times. But that need for energy management was actually driven from a time of complete exhaustion and realizing that what I was doing wasn't working anymore. I couldn't just push through this. It was going to take something different. That's when I started leading retreats. I started retreats because I needed them. And by me doing the research on these energy techniques and tools, I started thinking, I can't keep these to myself. I need to share these with other leaders and help them understand how to just get a little bit better. So my approach is always to be willing to go first, even when it's hard, and share what worked for me, what hasn't worked, what's not working right now. But what I need you to realize as leaders of organizations is that this is no longer a soft thing. This lack of leaders doing the real work and figuring out how to re-energize themselves is impacting all of our businesses. And we're choosing to ignore it. We're choosing to not change the conversations we're having with our leaders. We're not creating space for them to be able to do the inner work, to examine their own leadership and where it's working and where it's not for them and for the organizations. And I know in my heart that companies that start to realize this and start to invest in their leaders and invest in their leaders' energy, which can happen in a lot of different ways. We have strategy sessions that energize leaders. It doesn't have to be they all go away for a period of time. It's how do you find those ways to re-energize yourself and to re-energize the people around you in our organizations. I promise you, that is the new competitive advantage for growth. Energy is not a nice to have with what we are dealing with in the business environment today. And leadership truly starts where the noise stops. We have to be willing to quiet the noise individually and to support our leaders in finding space to be quiet, to give them space to find clarity, to give them space to do the hard work that is going to help us grow.